Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Kiddushin. We are up to Perek Bet Mishnah Bet. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria Ben Svetlana Ranbayev Eliyahu Ben Burcha Israel of Chana Bat Miriam Sason Ben Ryan Yoshua Ben Shifra Menuchatam Began Eden Amen and Avdim Ben Chaim Lechaim v'derefua Shelemav Daniel Shalom Ben Rosa Betoch Shar Cholei Israel. Kiddushin can take place only if both the man and woman agree to it. The next two Mishnayot discuss cases where a woman agreed to Kiddushin based on mistaken information. Hitkatshili bekoze shel yain. A man said to a woman, "Become betrothed to me with this cup of wine." V'nimtza shel dvash. But after she accepted the cup, it was found to contain honey instead of wine. Now the Mishnah refers to a case where the woman cannot see what was in the cup. For example, it was covered until after she took it. However, if she saw that it contained honey and did not say anything, she clearly agreed to accept it. So our Mishnah is referring to a case where she could not see what was in the cup. Or the reverse happened. Shel dvash, he said, "Become betrothed to me with this cup of honey," v'nimtza shel yain, but it was found to contain wine. Another pair of examples. B'dinar ze shel kesef, a man said, "Become betrothed to me with this dinar," a type of coin of silver, v'nimtza shel zahav, but it was found to be of gold. Shel zahav, or he said, "Become betrothed to me with this dinar of gold," v'nimtza shel kesef, but it was found to be silver. A third pair of examples. Al menat shani ashir, a man said, "Become betrothed to me on condition that I'm a rich man," v'nimtza ani, but after he performed the Kiddushin, it was found that he was a poor man. Ani, or he said, "Become betrothed to me on condition that I am a poor man," v'nimtza ashir, but it was found that he was a rich man. And na mikudeshet, in all the above cases, she is not betrothed because she agreed to the Kiddushin only based on what she was told, which turned out not to be true. Therefore, the Kiddushin does not have her consent and is invalid. Now, even if the error seems to be to her advantage, for example, he said that the coin was silver and it was actually gold, the Kiddushin is invalid because we cannot assume that she would have agreed had she known the truth. For example, she might have specifically wanted the silver coins that she could add it to a piece of silver jewelry. In the case where he said he was poor but was actually rich, she might not want a rich husband because he will be busy with his business affairs and spend less time with her. A different opinion, Rabbi Shimon says, Im hit'ah l'shevach mekudeshet. If the man misled her to her advantage, for example, he said he was giving her a silver dinar and he gave her a gold one, she is betrothed. In such a case, we assume that she agrees to the Kiddushin, even though she did not get what she expected. And the Rav tells us, En alachak Rabbi Shimon, the halakha does not follow the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. That is the end of Mishnah Bet. Mishnah Gimel begins, Al menat shani kohen. A man said to a woman, "Become betrothed to me on condition that I am a kohen." V'nimtza Levi, but after the Kiddushin, he was found to be a Levi, or the reverse happened. Levi said on condition that I am a Levi, v'nimtza kohen, but he was found to be a kohen. Although this seems to be an advantage, because a Kohen is considered more distinguished than a Levi, the woman might not want an important husband for fear that he will act arrogantly toward her. Natin, a man said on condition that I am a Natin, and Natin is a descendant of the Gibeonites, a group of Canaanites who tricked Yeshua into making a peace treaty with them, as described in the book of Yeshua, chapter 9. Although they converted to Judaism, Yeshua forbade ordinary Jews to marry them during times that the temple was standing. Later, because of their cruelty toward King Shaul's children, King David extended this prohibition to the descendants for all time, as the Rambam writes in Rechot Yisroel Biyah, chapter 12, Rechot 22 through 24. So if he said, on condition that I am a Natin, v'nimtza mamzer, but he was found to be a mamzer or feminine mamzeret, is a child born from a forbidden union that is punishable by karet, or from a parent who is a mamzer or mamzeret. The Torah forbids marriage or cohabitation between a mamzer or mamzeret and a regular Jew, as the Torah writes in several Dvarim, chapter 23, verse 3. Now the Mishnah refers to a case where the woman is permitted to marry a mamzer or natin. For example, she is also a mamzeret or netina. So again, a man said on condition that I am a natin, but he was found to be a mamzer, or he said on condition that I am a mamzer, v'nimtza natin, but he was found to be a natin. Now, a mamzer is considered somewhat more distinguished than a natin because a mamzer is of Jewish descent, whereas a natin comes from the Canaanites. For this reason, a woman might prefer a mamzer. On the other hand, she might prefer a natin because being less important, he will be less arrogant. Ben Ir, A man said on condition that I am a resident of a small town, v'nimtza ben krach, but he was found to be a resident of a large city. Ben krach, or he said on condition that I'm a resident of a large city, v'nimtza ben ir, but he was found to be a resident of a small town. The assumption is that they will live in the husband's hometown. She might prefer to live in a small town because cities are crowded and the cost of living is higher. On the other hand, there is an advantage to living in a city because all types of goods are more readily available there. A man said on condition that my house is close to the bathhouse, but it was found to be far from the bathhouse. Or he said on condition that my house is far from the bathhouse, but it was found to be close. The advantage of being close to the bathhouse is that it is easy to go and bathe. The disadvantage is that the air near a bathhouse is often steamy and unpleasant. A man said on condition that I have a daughter who can braid hair or a maidservant who can braid hair, but he did not have such a daughter or maidservant. Or he said on condition that I do not have a daughter or maidservant who braids hair, but in fact he did have one. Now a daughter or maidservant who knows how to braid hair can provide extra income for the family. On the other hand, she might gossip to her customers about the new wife. And the Mishnah mentions hair braiding simply as an example. The same is true if she has any other profession that might lead to this concern. A man said on condition that I do not have children, but he had children. Or he said on condition that I have children, but he did not have children. Children can help out around the house, but they might not accept their father's new wife, which could interfere with the couple's relationship. In all these cases, the Kiddushin is not valid because she agreed to it based on a mistake. She agreed to the Kiddushin only under the specified condition. Since each case has an advantage and a disadvantage, as we have explained, the Kiddushin is valid only if the man's situation was as he described it. The Mishnah adds, Ubikulam, and in all of these cases, even if she later said, I had in mind to be betrothed to him, even if what he said was not true, and not mikudeshes, she is nevertheless not betrothed. Since she did not say this before accepting the Kiddushin, the fact that she had this in mind makes no difference because a person's unspoken thoughts have no legal validity. A person's unspoken thoughts cannot change something that was spoken out loud, what we call dvarim shebalev enam dvarim. Since the man said that the Kiddushin depends on a specific detail and she apparently agreed, her unspoken thoughts cannot change that, as Rashi writes in Kiddushin, page 50a. However, if before she accepted the Kiddushin, she said that she accepts no matter what, the Kiddushin is valid. And the Mishnah concludes, V'chen ish atu, and the same applies if she misled him, meaning if a woman said something about herself, for example, that her father is a Kohen, and a man betrothed her based on that claim, if it turns out that her claim is not true, the Kiddushin is invalid, even if he later says that he meant to marry her regardless. And that is an Abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.